You're the copycat ass bitch that goes out their way to do everything the next bitch is doing without giving her credit. That's why you don't see the problem with Trim. Literally. Because a lot of y'all do not know what it's like to be on the other end of things. To be the blueprint that's being...
I think Tyla's just not likable in general.
I thought you guys liked that Is It song.
I could like your music and really not that Mr. Media that she dropped is actually hard as but she's not likable. Everybody had their eyes on Tyla. She's just not likable.
I don't think
and she has a nasty attitude.
Well, I don't like her. Yeah.
Oh, I just don't like the entitlement thing.
Okay, that's fair.
Oh, like, oh, I can't hold this.
So you don't like her through her actions, not necessarily like how to media.
No, I love her music. I think she's great.
Okay.
And it's unfortunate that she decided to go like the, you know, uppity, unrelatable route. But Water was so big.
I think part of what made Water so big was the push. I haven't seen the push again for her in that way.
I was honestly really excited when she came out because I was like, wow, like this is finally like a female artist that's giving us choreo. She's giving us visuals, and she's actually giving us good music.
So you think it's over for Tyla?
I don't know. She's gonna have to like apologize and stuff. The minute we feel like you gonna turn your back on us, we're gonna do you so dirty. We're gonna pull the rug right from under you.
Right from under you.
Yeah, you're gonna have to start all over.
They had 6 things they didn't want us to ask. You wanna know what those 6 things were?
Yeah.
They didn't want us to ask about Kai Cenat. The whole we friends though thing. Right?
Yeah.
Like, huh? They didn't want us to ask about her not being on tour with Chris Brown anymore. They didn't want us to ask about the color thing, her injury that she sustained. They didn't want to ask us about who she was dating, which I wouldn't do anyway. It was just all frivolous
And
stuff.
why? What are they trying to do? They're trying to protect an image that they're curating for her?
I have no idea. And that's why I said...
Oh, the Rihanna thing, compare.
Oh yeah, and comparison, and it wasn't even Rihanna, it just said comparisons to other pop artists. Huh?
Oh, so they're trying to separate her from Kai Cenat. She's her own individual. Don't tie her to him.
You want me to not ask her about Kai Cenat the day after Kevin Hart just was on Kai Cenat's show again with
Bringing
a big ass sign that said "We friends" though?
Yeah.
Like, come on, yo. So I said to them, no.
Oh.
Now, when I say no, I'm not gonna oblige any of this. It is your job then, label, management, whoever, to either prepare the artist for the questions or pull the interview.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm fine with either or.
Tyla is hard to like and really easy to dislike. And it's exactly why she keeps flopping. The label itself knows she's a hard sell. That's why they cheaped out on the video. Everything from the Breakfast Club interview, the way that put her at odds with 2 crucial audiences, one way more crucial for any kind of success over here, the way she makes a Kai Cenat stream really bad because you can tell she don't want to be there. She doesn't care about talking to him. And it's not about her looks. We know how she looks. No one questions that. What I am questioning is if she's aware of or cares about how easily dislikable she is. And this, for me, an outside perspective, I just think that if she was to change the way that she markets herself, like maybe not using a certain kind of technology in her music video, and possibly, I don't know, attempt to maybe mend her PR with a very specific group, she'd stop going double dish detergent, triple chicken tenders. And it's crazy because if we're talking about talent, the talent's there. No one's questioning that. But as long as Tyla's been out, she still doesn't have a crazy stan base like that. And people stan awful people all the time, which means it has nothing to do with that. Everything to do with whether or not people like her. Grown man, by the way. Don't believe me? Watch this. Tyla, I have no reason to lie to you about this, but all of your management does.
The reason why Tyla's music doesn't really work in America is just because people don't like her personality. But the thing is, you don't have to be a likable personality sometimes in America and succeed. The thing is, people like Doja Cat, okay, she fucking hates her fans. Most people don't like her. But the thing is about her music is low-key good as fuck. And the thing is about Tyla, she is too rude and too unlikable to American people. And she doesn't have good enough music to back it up. Like, the average person probably will not remember any of her songs. Besides, like, one that I think was really, like, meme. There was a joke. There was a dance with it, okay? And it was trending for a bit. But after that, like, no one really thinks about it. Like, it wasn't trending just because it was, like, this super good banger that you want to listen to over and over. It had a dance. That's why it went really viral in my personal eyes. Like, I don't think her music's bad. It's just, like, it has to be really good if you want to be unlikable in the media and succeed in America. Like, you have to have one of them, or else it's not gonna work out.
Any artist who doesn't make consistent content and only comes out when they have an album to promote is giving narcissistic energy. Tyla is receiving a lot of backlash right now because people are saying that the only reason why she's hanging out with Kai at Disney World is because she has an album to promote. Because before that, she wasn't making any content. She wasn't even hanging out with Kai. She was just rejecting him. But then now she has an album to promote. Now she's hanging out with him. This is a pattern of the music industry. This is what we call a campaign. So when artists have something to promote, they will be outside. They will be engaging with media personalities. They will be open to the public. But whenever they don't have anything to promote, they're like, leave me alone. Don't talk to me. They're not here. They're not making any kind of content. In the past, this was acceptable because they were on their campaign. But because of new technology like live streaming and short form video, now these artists are competing against content creators who make consistent content. Now they look like very narcissistic. Take these graphs, for example. When you have a campaign in the music industry, you are gone for a long time making the album, and then eventually you have a peak where you have an album to promote, so you're outside, and then you go mute, and then you go quiet and you don't say anything, and then it goes back up. The next album, the next album. When you're building a platform like a content creator, like a live streamer, you are consistently making content. You have a production schedule. You are consistently making content. And this is the problem with the music industry. It cannot compete against content creators because the music industry is built on these peaks and valleys where content creation, especially with content creators today, are building platforms and consistent relationships with people. So when you are dealing with a narcissistic person, you are dealing with peaks and valleys. They'll love bomb you. Please come over. Let's hang out. And then they'll just ghost you. And then they'll tell you like, oh, I'm back, and then they'll ghost you. So it's the same thing with artists. Artists are creating this kind of relationship. This is why Tyla is being called out. And artists need to get out of this thinking of campaign building. Let me drop an album and then I'll make content. No, make content consistently, because if not, you're just going to be called out for taking advantage of those content creators who have real platforms. So build platforms, not campaigns, and you are going to build a great community around you that doesn't make it feel like you're taking from them like a narcissist would. What do you think?
What's not clicking with Tyla? Because for somebody who's one of the most streamed artists in the world right now,
I'll tell you what's not clicking with Tyla. The reality is that Tyla's having a disconnect between herself and her consumer. She's selling a product. That product is her music. Whether you want to view it that way or not, I'm telling you right now, that's the way the people up at her label are viewing her, as a product. She's pushing her product to a key target demographic that does not like her. I've tried to say it the nice way. I've tried to be cute and demure about it, but I've received so much anti-Black hate in my comments from South Africans. And shout out to my South Africans, because no matter how you feel about me, I love you. And it's not about me and you. It's not about you versus Black Americans. It's bigger than that. This is a business conversation. And if you don't have the media literacy to follow along, just keep scrolling. Point blank, period. The white creator, he made a comment about it, and y'all are not dragging him in the comments, but when a Black woman does it, it's really sad. But let's get back to Tyla. At the end of the day, every global artist, this term that y'all love to throw around, that she's bigger than America and she doesn't need America, every global artist, from K-pop to Latin American artists, when they are attempting to transcend into that superstar status, they are brought over to American soil and marketed to Americans. One of the key demographics that R&B and hip hop acts that come from outside of America are pushed towards is Black American women. Go ask the label. Don't ask me. Go ask the label. They will show you the numbers. I would love for a label to get in my comments and show me the numbers so that I can have some statistics to back me up, because I know I'm right, but it seems that South Africans don't want to do the research. You need Black American women to support your music if you're in that genre. That's just what it is. Go ask Drake. Go ask some of the top selling artists of all time. It is what it is. I'm sorry. Unless you're doing country, which I don't believe Tyla's going to be doing country music anytime soon. All my pop girlies, all my rappers, all my hip hop, all those genres, you need Black American women to support you. It's not about us being main characters like you love to throw around with this anti-Black, you guys think you're the main characters. It's about business. We might not be the main characters of the world, which you will never hesitate to remind us of, but we are the main characters of the music business. It's not just a Tyla thing. So this narcissistic perspective that y'all have, that like she doesn't need this demographic. If she didn't need the demographic, they wouldn't have tried to put her on Black American media outlets for the second rollout. And my question to y'all is, can you please let me know a piece of South African press that she's done to roll A-pop out? Because I haven't seen any yet. And my last video was almost a week ago. Let me give it to you in a metaphor that might be a little bit easier to digest. If I shop at your grocery store and your grocery store keeps having recalls, I'm not going to come to your grocery store anymore because there's a lack and breakdown of trust between me as your consumer and you as the supplier. Tyla has broken down trust at this point between herself and that key target demographic, which is Black American women. I've gotten into the weeds and the thick of why I believe that is. I think that they made a mistake, a critical mistake when they first introduced her to American markets by positioning her through racial preference as the exotic baddie to a group of women who are sensitive to that. I think that was the fatal mistake, in my opinion. There were some other things. The Breakfast Club interview did not help. That kind of was the cherry on top, but the underlying resentment had already existed. When you are trying to break an artist, you have to account for those cultural nuances. And maybe this speaks to the failure of the labels. And shout out to my major labels. Maybe you need someone with a little more, cultural nuance on your team to help guide these critical decisions, because if you did, you would have understood you have to be sensitive about the way you're pushing the girl. I don't believe that these are all like Tyla's conscious decisions. I don't think that Tyla's a bad person. I actually think that she's extremely talented. And I think that it sucks that someone who is talented has to face these issues when they're just trying to do their music. But at the end of the day, the music is a product. You're trying to sell the product, and you can't disrespect the same consumer who you need $1 from. It's never going to work. In the history of business, it's never worked.